Good morning Year 5. So this morning I'm joining you for our maths lesson, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be finding some 2D shapes around your house, and then we're going to be labelling them with their properties and their shape names. So 2D means two-dimensional, which means flat shapes, but I know that can be quite difficult to find flat shapes in your house. So if you can find a 3D object and then see the flat shape on that, that's absolutely fine. So for example, here I've got a candle. It's obviously a 3D object, three-dimensional, it's not flat, but here we can see the 2D shape on it is a circle. Okay, so I whizzed around my house very quickly and grabbed a few objects, so I'm just going to talk you through a few of them to show you what I want you to do. So you should all have this sheet on your frog page, which gives you some of the shapes and how we're going to label their properties. So the amount of sides and the amount of vertices. So a vertices is a maths term, a maths word, which means corners. So a corner, quite simply, is where two sides meet. So on this book, we can see there's a corner there, a corner there, a corner there, and a corner there. So we would say it has 4 vertices. Okay, so let's start with the book then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have post-its, and I'm going to label the shape of each item. So that's the 2D shape. Then the vertices, the amount of corners, and the amount of sides. So those two things are the properties, the vertices and the sides are the properties of the shape. Okay, so you might recognise this from yesterday. This is our book that I read to you yesterday. You are Stardust. So what I'm looking at is this front cover. What shape is that? You can always refer back to your sheet over here and have a little look. What do you think it matches? So I am going to then get my post-it when I've had a little think and had a look at the sheet, and I'm going to think, what shape do I reckon that is? I reckon it is a rectangle. How many vertices? Well, we've already discussed that. The corners, we have 4 corners. And the amount of sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so why is this a rectangle and not a square? So I'll have a look at a square next, so we can discuss that. Okay, so once you have finished up with your item, if you've got sticky notes, that's perfect. If you don't worry, just find a little piece of paper and you can put it next to it. Okay, just leave it on it like that. So we've got our book, it's a rectangle, that's the 2D shape we found within it. It's got 4 vertices, 4 corners, and 4 sides. Okay, so quickly we'll move on to the square that we found. So I found this beautiful napkin. So that is my square. As you can see, all of the sides are the same length, which is what is different about a square and a rectangle. In a rectangle, you have 2 sides that are longer than the other 2 sides. Okay, so nice and quickly, I can say that is a square, that is my shape. How many vertices, how many corners? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many sides? Again, really easy to count. We have 4 sides. Okay, I have to say that when you're hunting for objects in your house, it is a lot easier to find squares and rectangles and circles than it is to find anything else. So good luck. Hopefully you can find a few more interesting things. This one here, we've already discussed how we can see the 2D shape within it. So we are looking at this shape here, which is a circle. How many vertices, how many corners does it have? So where 2 points meet. It actually has 0 vertices. And how many sides? So carry on going until you hit a corner. We never hit a corner, so it's just the one side. Okay, so let's see if I can stick that on. There we go. Circle has 0 vertices and 1 side. Now, I was lucky enough to find something a little bit different. So here we have what looks like a squashed circle. This is just a cotton wool bud that we've been using for growing our cress on, or for taking off my makeup when I do actually do that, which is quite rare these days. Okay, this shape, if you have a look at your sheet, you can identify as not a circle. You go right the way down, squashed circle is an oval. Okay, how many vertices does that have? Does it have any corners? No. Again, 0 vertices. How many sides? Keep going until you meet a corner. We never meet a corner, so it's just one side. Okay. Lovely. Oval, 0 vertices, one side. Okay. Quickly go through our last 2 items. Okay, so this is quite a big one. This is actually out of our car. This is something you might put behind your car if you've had an accident. And it is, well, it's easy to see, it is a triangle. It's got 3 sides, it means it's a triangle. If you want to find out what type of triangle it is, you have to watch the video below, because there are 3 different types of triangle. For now, I'm just going to write triangle as the shape. And how many vertices does it have? How many corners? 1, 2, 3. 3 vertices. And how many sides? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is our triangle labelled. And our final one, I was actually lucky enough to find something that wasn't on this list, so it's a little bit more tricky. And you can actually find a lot of different shapes within here. I mean, you can find the circles, you can find semicircles, you can find rectangles, find a little triangle on the end there. But what I'm going to look at is this outside shape. So you can see it's slightly rounded, the sides, but they definitely still come to a joining point, which is our vertices, our corners. Okay, so the way we figure out what this shape is called is we have to count how many sides we have. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Have a little think, what do we call an 8-sided shape? Okay, think of an octopus, and then think what we put at the end of a shape. So a 5-sided shape would be a pentagon. So it is an octagon. This is an octagon. How many sides does it have? We've already discussed that. We have 8 sides, which is what gives it its name. And then how many vertices do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's my final shape that I'm going to label. I want to challenge you. Maybe set yourself a little timer in your house to see how many different shapes you can find. Bring them all back to wherever you're working and then start labelling them. You can always check them by having a look at a little sheet like that, or just check them by doing a quick Google on the internet, like what is a 8-sided shape called, for example. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit fun, a little bit of a treasure hunt for you today. Good luck. I hope you manage to find more than a square, a circle and a rectangle. I know it can be challenging. But yes, good luck everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.